meet you again.
Yeah,
I'm
nice to
happy
meet you.
to thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming on. I've been excited about
Okay,
talking to you and your new project, everything that's going
cool.
on.
hmm
Um, so first of all, how do you pronounce your name exactly?
Well, you can say Tennin, but in
Tennin.
French we can everybody say Tennin.
Tinne.
Yes,
Okay,
and I have the South French accent, so it's Tennin, but I mean you can say
that's good.
Tennin.
I mean, where'd you grow up?
So I was born in the south of France, in a city called Castres.
Okay.
Do you know
Oh,
Toulouse?
yeah, I
Maybe
do.
not.
I don't know the city
Okay,
type.
so
I know the name. Yeah.
it's not far from Toulouse. So yeah, I grew
hmm
up in Castres, and then I came to Paris when I was 20 or
hmm
something, and then I'm here. I'm still in Paris.
So what made you move to Paris? Just going to the big city and stuff like that?
Yeah, I wanted to change. Like, there isn't much to do in the south, so I just wanted to meet something else. And
hmm
I was a student at the time, so I wanted to study in Paris.
Mm.
You know,
Yeah.
it wasn't for
Y-
the music because I met music then after in
Really?
Paris. Mhm.
Because how long have you been doing it?
I mean, I wrote my first lyric, my first songs when I was a teenager. So I was still
Mm.
in the South, and I was addicted to hip hop music. So the hip
Mm.
hop made me write my first lyrics, but it was only in secret. It wasn't public. I never wanted to make it, public. And then when I arrived in Paris, I met with someone who's now a friend,
hmm
and he has a music magazine, and I
Awesome.
used to give interviews. So I interviewed bands like, for example, Young Fathers. I don't know if you know them.
No, no, not aware. What?
This is a UK band, alternative punk music.
Mm.
And yeah, I was like, no, I think I want to be on stage. I want to be interviewed. And I
Right.
started to do it again, like to write and to publish my first songs in
I think
2014.
a bit of the opposite of me
Ah,
because I
yeah,
used to
why?
be
Why is that?
I used to make music. Well, I used to be in bands all my life and creating
Really?
some sort of music. And in the end, I
Mm-hmm.
realized, not that it's too late, but I had my focus in other things. I was fascinated by also media and just like
Mm-hmm.
learning and listening to other people's stories. And then I recently got into management as well, and I thought, I'd like to manage the people that are more talented than I am, and
Okay.
see it from the outside as they do their
Mhm.
thing.
But you
So,
don't miss the music. To
so
make music,
actually recently bought a bunch of equipment to start producing, and
you see?
so you always miss it. You're always in it.
Yeah.
But as
It
in doing it
always comes
professionally,
back.
yeah, yeah. And I've done some reunion shows with the old bands and stuff whenever they're
Mm.
back in the country because everyone lives everywhere somewhere else.
Okay.
Um, so yeah,
What
that's
kind of music? I'm just curious.
oh all kinds, all kinds. Oh yeah, it
Mm.
started. I think way back in high school, I used to do. So I grew up in the Middle East, and then I was really in the punk rock scene more as well. So we
Okay.
were in a punk band, and then I played some black metal. No, not black metal. I played some Children of Bodom. You know them? It's like very heavy metal
Yeah,
keyboards.
no. How do
Yeah,
you say? How?
Children of Bodom. I think
No,
they're
I don't know.
Finnish from Finland. So the Finland rock kind of, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I've always been listening to and being inspired by hip hop.
Yeah.
And for me, I've written raps just also as a hobby. I've never
Ah.
released anything. So yeah,
Okay, cool.
but I'm really into
Okay,
it. So,
interesting.
but what is it that fascinates you about hip hop and hip hop culture? I guess in general, because you also seem to be in that fashion wise as well, lifestyle wise.
Yeah, this is really interesting because normally when you ask someone why they make hip hop or why they love hip hop, they have a track in mind. Like they love hip hop because they've
hmm
heard of something, you know.
hmm
And me, I don't really know. It came naturally. Like, I think this is the energy, the
hmm
message, and this is something so strong that you can't, you, you go for it. I think this is the energy and the message,
Like you
and this
feel.
is useful music at the same time. I always felt connected to hip hop, but I don't know exactly why. I think this is only because it came like that, like naturally, you know. I don't really know why. This is the energy I can't
You see,
explain.
you see in your videos sometimes, like the stuff you put on Instagram when you're just vibing with the music and going
Yeah.
crazy, dancing around.
Mm.
You just feel it in your gut, I guess. And sometimes you want
Yeah.
to listen to something that you know has a message behind it, or something that you know
Hmm.
maybe hits you emotionally, or and sometimes you just want to listen to that party music or just to feel good or uplift yourself, right?
Yeah,
That's what I
correct. It's
feel.
just, I feel something. So I
Yeah,
feel
yeah.
something. Sometimes you can't describe specifically what, but you feel
Hmm.
something, and this is why I think I love hip hop, and I always listen to hip hop music. Maybe too much, I mean. So I've
Hmm.
started to try to listening to other kind of music, not to stay like
Hmm.
that, but yeah,
So
yeah, I
what
feel
kind?
something with it.
How do you what what style of music sort of inspires your style the most? You think?
This is a very difficult question because I
Hmm.
think I'm consciously or and unconsciously inspired by what I've been listening to since I'm on earth. Like, my father
Hmm.
is from Senegal, for example. So
Okay.
I've listened to a lot of African music when I was a child.
Hmm.
And then I became addicted to hip hop music. And then when I arrived in Paris and when I worked with the music magazine, I discovered other kind of music like trip hop music or alternative music.
Hmm.
And I think everything is it's dancing in my brain, and
Hmm.
it's creating some kind of,
Yeah,
I, I don't know if there is one specific style that inspired me most, but I think it's everything. Like,
because
I
you
don't know.
also just you have a very diverse sound. I guess when I
Yeah,
listen, yeah,
we, yeah, correct. Because
yeah.
when I create a song, I don't want to be like, okay, what kind of style am I going to bring on the table? I'm just trying to create a world,
Hmm.
a universe for a song. Like, what is the feeling that I want the people to have, and not what is the genre. I
Yeah, yeah,
don't
yeah.
have these questions in my mind,
Hmm.
so this is why I can go from songs like Run, for example, which is alternative trip hop, maybe,
Hmm.
to other kind of music like, mm, We Stand Alone, that I am about to release, which is more, there is more rhythm, but it's difficult for me to label it.
Hmm.
I prefer that, for example, you tell me what you hear in my
Yeah.
music. Mm.
What I like about it is it's well, we stand alone is also very bassy. I'm very heavy on the bass, very deep in the bass, and I like
Yeah,
that it's sort of it's a root of the song, and it doesn't overpower the 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 lyrics maybe, or the vocals, I would say. And I'm
yeah,
I'm very
yeah.
big on like big drops and
Mm-hmm.
you know bit of
Yeah, I like it
shock
too.
value.
Yeah, yeah, but We Stand Alone was more a cry from the heart. Like, I had something that I wanted to share or
Hmm.
to say. So, and this is the way it sounds because I had so many things that I wanted to
Hmm.
release.
Yeah, yeah.
And this is, mm.
So what was the what did you how did you come up with it? What was your creative process for that specific song?
I mean, because we all have struggles and fights on a daily basis. Like, for example, I don't know, a disease
Mm.
or something that bother you. And I had so many stuff that I wanted to release, and I don't know. I heard the beats. This Broken Shadow, this is a friend of mine who
Hmm.
done the beats. So I heard it, and this inspired me. This kind of lyrical content and songs.
Hmm.
Um, I just wanted to release something. So
So this is like it's just pure emotion.
yeah,
There's
this
not
is more
much
about
thought behind
emotion.
it, or a whole.
Yeah, I mean, I want everybody to. This is for everybody who can relate to this
Hmm.
with their own story. So I
Yeah.
don't want to give my story because I want everybody, each of us, to be able to 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 think about their
Yeah,
own
to
struggle
interpret
and
it.
their own stories. Yeah.
Hmm.
Mm.
And sort of apply it to their own life. And I like
Yeah,
that kind of
exactly.
music. Sometimes artists don't need to explain their
Mm.
music. I think I don't know if you feel the same. Where especially when you're listening to foreign music, I notice when you don't
Yeah.
speak the language,
Uh-huh.
you just sort of assume what it's about, and
Mm-hmm.
then some, when there's a music video, you sometimes realize, oh, this is completely different than what I had in mind in terms of
Yeah.
storyline, right?
Mm.
And
Mm.
I like that. It keeps it creative. Um,
Yeah, you don't have to understand. Like, it's the energy. Once again, we speak about energy, because even you don't have, because for example, a band, the name is I Speak.
I'm going to look it
The
up.
band is from Russia.
I speak.
And yeah, when I discovered the music, I didn't understand the word. Well, they sing in English too, but I
Hmm.
discovered the band with Russian lyrics, and I didn't understand what they were saying,
Hmm.
but I knew there is a message behind,
Yeah.
and you can, I mean, no matter the language, you can feel the energy and the message. You can still feel it, so you don't have to understand the words.
Did you ever put the lyrics in Google Translate or something? The lyrics from I speak.
No, no, but I did
Yeah.
watch the video clips, and then I understood it was against the government,
Mm,
and I
the
understood, but I
anti-establishment.
already knew it because of the energy once again. So
Yeah,
yeah.
that's great. Did you have any like what lessons did you have? Did you have any music lessons back as a kid, or did you ever join any classes? Yeah.
Yes, I used to play the violin,
Did you have
but I
strict
was
teacher?
sorry.
Did you have very strict teachers?
No, because no, no, I never had a very proper music,
Mm.
background formation. I mean, I used to learn a lot and alone. Sorry, and
Mm-hmm.
I had a few lessons like that. Like some years here, I used to have singing lessons in Hamburg, for example, in Germany.
Mm-hmm.
Some here in Paris, but I never followed a very solid musical um teaching.
Mm-hmm.
So I did a lot of stuff, violin, singing, but then I've tried to learn so many things by my own. Yeah.
Do you feel like you've discovered your sound, sort of, your own unique sound that you're gonna stick with?
Well, you have so many things to learn, like because when you do music, you discover yourself every day.
Mm-hmm.
This is very special.
So you
Like
just try
sometimes,
to experiment.
yeah,
Yeah.
because when I started to do music, I made electronics songs.
Mm-hmm.
It was more. I did a lot of stuff, and this is the creative process that made me arrive to this kind of sound that I'm doing today, for example.
Mm-hmm.
But you never know. Maybe tomorrow I will try to experiment something else, and I think this is why I feel free to create.
Mm-hmm.
This is the freedom, if you say like, for example, okay, my style is this is where your freedom stops as an
Mm.
artist, I think. But then all depends on the people. But
And you're in a box.
yeah, yeah, I think the music, and then you have to bring things on the table, new things. So you have to experiment. It's not
Mm-hmm.
This is why we make art. I mean, I think this is the definition of art.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It is in the purest form. And there's a lot of people that. Oh, so okay, how do you balance the artistic aspect with the financial aspect, maybe of wanting to make money with the art? Because at what point do you become a sellout, so to say? You know, or do
Yeah,
you
of
like?
course not. um So you have to understand as an artist, like, you don't do it for the money. I think this is,
Mm-hmm.
if you come into the industry and you're like, okay, I'm doing music because I want money.
Mm-hmm.
This is a really tricky uh, thought, because it's not like that at all.
Mm-hmm.
If I can make a living, if I can live with my music, like pay my rent, it's enough for me, because I
Mm-hmm.
just want to sing. And even if I can't make money with my music, I will do it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So, because eventually the money is something that
Just,
comes maybe eventually, because but this is not what comes first. I think it's not like that as you need to think.
Mm-hmm. And do you
It's
think if
really
you
tricky.
just know you're good at something and keep creating that, the followers and the money will come naturally? Is it like, think it's that simple if you have that mindset?
I guess we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah. What's your ambition? Like, how
Uh,
far do you like? What's your? Do you have any goals with it? Any specific things you're looking forward to reaching, like milestones?
of course, I have some labels in mind that I would like to work with.
Also,
So
you
that's
would
for
like to be
sure.
with the label, yeah? Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I have a list of labels that I think would fit with what I want.
Mm-hmm.
Most of them are English or German labels. So I would like to have a team, to work
Mm-hmm.
with, of course, and I would like to be on tour. So I think we'll be able to go on stage again because of the pandemic situation and stuff.
Yes.
I would like to be on tour. I would like to have a team to work on. And if I don't have a label, it doesn't matter if I have a team and we understand each other's, we have a connection, we can do things as well
Mm-hmm.
as a team. You don't have to be in a label, I think. I would like to, but if I want, if I don't, I mean,
If you don't, it
I
doesn't
would still
affect you
yeah, I
that
just
much.
want to, I mean, I want to, anyway, I want to go on stage. I want to create more music. Uh, I don't want to stop. I don't want
Mm-hmm.
to, I think, I think I want to do that. Like it's obvious that, this is something I will never stop doing anyway, no matter what.
And do you think you would be able to handle? Do you think there will be pressure coming if you join a label of like if they start demanding you to release certain albums at a certain time or a certain amount of albums within
Yes.
a certain period of time? If that would affect your creativity, because look, for I always have a belief for the artists that I work with.
Mhm.
A lot of their first projects would be fantastic because it's sometimes a compilation
Yeah.
of work of the last 10 years or something, or that they've been working on for a
Mhm.
very long time. And then you pick and choose the best, you perfect them. But once
Yeah.
there is a bit of pressure, it's hard to follow up those projects. Do you think how would you be able to deal with that? Do you have any
I
tips,
think
maybe?
I think you need to get prepared because this is part of the game as well. But you,
Hmm.
you really need to have strong convictions. So if someone, a label or someone proposes you to work on something, is it is it you? Like, do you recognize yourself in that project? If yes, even if you have to balance or you have to go for it. But if it is not what you want to do and this is really uh, not you, like you don't feel you fit in it, you don't do
Hmm.
it. So you need to, I mean, this is work then if
Yeah.
someone says, okay, we work on an album, it's gonna sound like that, then you speak with the people and you try to know if you can find the balance.
Hmm.
And this is work. This is how professional works. The
Hmm.
professional worlds work like that. So it's not okay, I come, I sing whatever I want, everything is cool. I think you need to
No,
get prepared of that. You need to,
exactly.
to be aware. And but if it's completely different from what you want to show, what you want to spread to the world, for example, as an artist, I think you shouldn't do it
Hmm.
because it's your message. You have self convictions, you have self esteem, so you never betray who you are. And you just pay attention to the direction of the project, but then you speak and you see if you can find the balance.
Yeah, and I think if people are working in it that really want to work in it and it's their hobby, you shouldn't
Mm.
be complaining because you'd rather. The struggle is everywhere, and every job has this high pressure struggles at some point that you're gonna be angry and
Yeah,
or you're not gonna agree with
because
something.
this is work. Mm.
It's better to have it in a job that you really want, like this, rather
Mm.
than doing it as an accountant. And it's
Yeah,
important. I think that we should always remind ourselves, and our creatives should remind themselves about that. You know
yeah,
that.
yeah, because there is a difference. You say hobby. I think there is a difference between hobby,
Mhm.
and professional world. It's not the same.
Yeah.
You need to understand that before if you really want to make music as a job, you need to understand it's not a hobby anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not, you're not gonna party, you're not gonna it's work, and it's only work, you know. You need to, yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
need to be aware. I mean, otherwise you're gonna make bad choices.
And it's a tougher business than
And
usual.
it's,
The security isn't there.
mhm,
It's you're dealing with sharks all the time.
yeah.
You know. Um,
No, you need to know your subject. Like, you need to know everything, the contracts, how it works, because otherwise, we saw it in the music industry. You have a lot of problems. This is normal,
mhm,
and now we have the possibility to be aware of that. We have a lot of information. A
mhm.
lot of artists now are speaking out, so we have them. We can we can get educated. You know, we can have information, and we have to pay attention. Once again, it's not easy, of course. This is a tough, like, I think we can't imagine exactly how it's like to be on huge levels, but you need to be aware and
It's
to
true.
get informed, you know.
Yeah, this is one of the goals I'm trying to make, and that we're trying to do as a, with this page and with the podcast as well, is sort of educate all kinds of
Yeah.
creatives. It's not just musicians and artists and athletes and everyone
Yeah,
on
so I
just
saw last time, I saw a video about a guy, an athlete.
yeah. He's Markel. Markel's
Yeah.
he's yeah. That episode's also gonna come out at some point. He's the head of the combat sports department at CAA. So
Okay.
he manages athletes, UFC fighters, and yeah, and he also
Mm.
has his own businesses.
Yeah,
Um,
I think it was very interesting,
yeah,
like,
there's
to
a
have
lot
this
of
kind
good.
of person to speak. Mm.
Yeah, that's why I'd like to get some diversity on it, because it's all about the people that are making it happen by themselves or doing something creative or out of the norm jobs
Mm.
that require you to be very independent, such as being a musician, and something you're doing is trying to build a career out of the thing you love to do. Um,
Mm.
and
Mhm.
learning how to deal with the pitfalls of it and the
Mm.
struggles and just pushing through, because a lot of people might give up at some point. Um,
Yeah, a lot.
hmm and
A
what?
lot. I think this is the difference with, the people we see as stars, for example. This is just people who never gave up, no matter what, and
hmm
we only know a few of what they've been through, I think.
Yeah,
This is not made for everybody, I think.
exactly. There is because there's the concept of the one hit, not the one hit wonder, the overnight
Yeah,
success.
yeah. Mm-mm.
It's not.
Yeah.
People think it seems easy. The people came out of nowhere, or the person blew up out of nowhere. Oh, he got so lucky because that song was great and it got picked up by media. No, they do not see the 17 years before that where they struggled and ate shit to
Yeah, maybe
get.
even more.
Yeah, maybe more. Yeah, I think who was what's his name? Bryan Cranston, the actor who played Walter White in Breaking Bad as well. Always love that example. He I think he was in his 40s, or he was like 40 years old when he
Yeah.
went in Malcolm in the Middle, and he was waiting tables at
Mm-hmm.
40 years old,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
now he's one of the most recognizable faces. You know,
You see?
people don't.
You see?
It's not
Yeah,
a
because they
overnight
just
thing.
see, of course, they see the results.
hmm
So they see the results. They just see,
They
okay,
do.
this one is a star. He's he's doing music. He's doing blah blah blah. He's touring. They only see the results. So,
hmm Yeah, it's
well,
mostly for the people who've been around for a long time. Because there are one hit wonders that you just appear. You did get that lucky break, but you don't follow up. There's no longevity in it, or sometimes it's just
yeah.
like a gimmick.
Mm,
It's about, let's say, okay, let's say hypothetically, one of your songs is gonna blow up and you're gonna have 20 million streams, right?
uh-huh.
Immediately, it's gonna be picked up by all media.
Mm.
What's the first thing you would do? How are you gonna carry that on into building it into something that has longevity? How
So
will
first
you
of all,
last?
I think you need to. I mean, you need to have visions,
Mhm.
even when it's not there. For example, now I'm not at that point. For example, I'm not, I'm not at that point, but I'm already prepared just in case I am in that point.
Mhm.
So I know what I want to do next. Because if you don't prepare yourself and this is happening, then you will be completely lost, because there is a chance for it to happen if you work. So
Mhm.
maybe you won't do it, but maybe you will. So if you do, if you get famous and your music is working out and you're not prepared, it means you messed up the vision and you messed up your work.
Yeah, and you'll never forgive yourself.
And then, yeah, it's too
It's
late. You need to be ready. You need to be ready,
the chance of
whatever
a lifetime.
happens.
What would you do?
But
What are you? What's your plan for it? Like when it happens?
I think I would already have a plan.
Hmm.
So I would take it, I think, for an opportunity to release an album, to release another song, and I would have prepared what and with whom.
Hmm.
And so you mean with the money, or you mean
No,
regarding the
no. In
works?
terms of fan base, building the fan base and carrying on momentum, maybe how you keep the momentum going.
Well, I mean, by releasing more songs,
Hmm.
and you release more songs, you connect more with the people.
Yeah,
You try to like, you ask for me, so here I am, I'm releasing more songs. I want you to
hmm,
have more of me. I want you to have uh
just
to
keep
be,
putting
yeah,
yourself
to
out
be
there, doing
recognized.
interviews, media, any opportunity, just working your ass off. You know.
Yeah, and I work like even more
Mm.
than when I was not famous. I
Yeah,
work
yeah, yeah.
even more.
Yeah, because actually, like on the grand scheme of things, and if you look at your whole life, it would be a very short period of just working really hard and
Mm,
basically denying yourself of other pleasures, whatever,
mm,
to really build yourself up for the rest of your set yourself up for the rest of your life. Um,
yes.
but a lot of people aren't willing to do that, and it's
Because
disappointing.
they think this is a hobby only, maybe,
Hmm.
and that's fine. I mean, that's fine. You
Yeah,
can
yeah,
have
yeah.
hobbies, it's not a problem. But I mean, and sometimes, they think once it's done, you're famous, you sell a lot of records, they think it's, oh, he made it. It's not, but no, it's the beginning of even more work, even more pressure, even
Hmm.
more less, uh, I mean, being tired, always working, because you can't fail. No, you can't go back to the past. You just
Mm.
want it to go on and to rise. So you have to work, and you never stop.
And then there's a
I think.
next level of competition that you're in because now you're competing with the absolute best of all time, you know?
Mm,
And people forget about you real quick. Like
yeah, yeah,
if
yeah.
you don't release for half a year or whatever, let's say,
Mm,
it's, people are going to drop off and other people are going to be on top of you and your fans are going to move to them, at some
yeah,
point. Of course, there's always going to be that one loyal
yeah.
fan base that stays, but
Mm,
that's it. Like the industry doesn't care, I think.
yeah, that's right. You need to have a plan for the fans. You need to have a plan for everything. And yeah. Hello.
Yeah, I'm here. I
I
know
was
the video
talking, but
is
I think you were
I
too.
saw the video was spacing out, but
Yeah, yeah.
I'm still here.
A lot of There are a lot of artists, like, they release songs every week. Sometimes they even release songs every day.
Hmm.
Sometimes I so, but then you have to create your own path as well. You don't have to do like copy paste. If you
Yeah,
want
yeah,
to
yeah.
release a song each month, that's fine. Uh, Everyone has its own way, so
Hmm.
you need to figure out your direction as well.
I wonder, because everybody has these little slumps of creativity where you just like don't feel creative at all, and you feel, oh, why isn't it coming to me? And you know, how do you have you figured out what it is that um helps you get back to a creative point, or what inspires you to rediscover yourself?
Yeah, it happens all the time. But I think we need to be able to create, even if we don't feel creative.
Mm.
Even like sometimes, because I used to write lyrics only when, for example, I felt I had an inspiration. So okay, I have an inspiration, so I write. But sometimes you need to stock all the inspiration in your brain, and one day you're not creative enough, like you can still work, because you need to be able to work and to write even if you don't have a new inspiration at the moment. You know what I mean?
So even if it's not good, you just need to keep writing and stuff, and then suddenly
I
the
think,
good stuff
yeah.
comes.
Yeah, you don't
Mm.
release it or you publish it and then you delete it anyway, but you still need to continue working on,
Yeah.
you can't stop just because you don't have an inspiration. Because for, I mean, me, I want to be able to write even if I'm not inspired, for example. I really need it, because then it's like I can't work, I can't write anything, so I just drop it. I don't want to be like that. And then I write, then the day after I just read my lyrics and I'm like, okay, it's not good, so all right, it doesn't matter, so I will
But as long
change
as
it
you
or
keep
we do
working
it
out your
again.
brain, it's like exercising your brain to keep
Yes.
used to it, and
Yeah.
it's the same
And
with
then you
sports.
can find tips. You can find tips to write when you're not inspired, for example.
Yeah. And maybe sometimes do you ever pick up things that you thought were bad, and then you look at them and you say, "Oh, there's good things in here. Let me take this."
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
always, always. Sometimes
Mm-hmm.
you go back to something that you wrote in 2011, for example. I don't know, and you can be like, wow, that's interesting. Yeah, and then you write it again. So
Has that happened to you recently, where you released something that you found from the past, and then
oui.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm starting speaking
in
French.
French?
Yeah. So, Run, for example. Run.
Run was a very old project.
Yeah, 2016, and then
Mm.
17. So actually, I released a lot of songs, then I deleted. I deleted them. It's
Oh,
normal. Sometimes it happens.
that's part of the
And
process.
yeah. Hmm. Hmm.
But
Yeah.
do you also inspire yourself with other forms of art, or do you ever watch a show or something, or a movie, and then get a musical inspiration out of it?
Yeah, I'm not really into movies. I don't know why.
Hmm. I thought you would
Um.
be very into movies. I don't know why.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
No. No. I'm into TV shows, but because of
Hmm.
the quarantine days, of course.
Yeah.
And I think TV shows are really awesome to find new music.
Yeah.
Thanks
Yeah.
to Shazam, it's excellent. Like you can find all of the music you want thanks to TV shows. But anyway, to be back on the subject, dance. I love dance. I have a twin sister. She's a dancer,
Mm.
and one of my dream is to be a dancer, which I never be. I think I will never be a dancer, but
I
I
think
love
it's too
to
late.
dance. Yeah, I'm getting but yeah. Dance and painting maybe, but
Hmm. But not
yeah, but I
necessarily
think
TV shows. Okay. Okay.
yeah, more dance maybe, yeah.
Yeah. Did you? So you mentioned quarantine.
Mm.
How has that been for you? And also professionally and creatively.
Yeah, no, I was supposed to go to London to record stuff with artists there, so I couldn't
Mm.
go there. And also I had a few live shows in Brussels, in Belgium.
Mm-hmm.
So this has been cancelled, of course.
All of it.
So I just bought a new microphone, and I recorded a few songs. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna work on my EP. So I want to release an EP for September, I think, for fall 2020. And I just recorded a few songs. I wrote a lot, and yes, and it was not very. I mean, I'm used to it, like, because when you write and you want to release songs, you are very often in your inside,
Yeah.
So it wasn't something very unique for me.
Because before that, were you doing anything else that got interrupted by quarantine? Is there other things you're doing, or is it purely the music?
Let me think. Music, sports.
No, because what I'm asking is like if because of quarantine you suddenly had a whole lot of extra time just to only focus on one thing and sort of discover new directions that you can go with your music or network or yeah.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. I figure out for my EP, for example, I I thought that it would be interesting to focus on a few songs that I already wrote or that I
Hmm.
did write. And yes, yes,
Have you
I
networked
tried
with
to.
other artists as well?
Sorry?
Did you network with other artists or reach out to other people that you want to work with?
Yeah, yeah, as
Mhm.
well.
How's that going?
So there is one UK artist that I want to work with on a song. And there are other artists for We Stand Alone, for example. I found producers that they will make remix of We Stand Alone.
Mm-hmm.
What else? Yeah, a few artists like that. Well, we connected. Yes.
Okay. And you sort of feel like you fueled yourself for when this is over.
Mhm.
You, and you feel like you fueled yourself, like you are reloaded for when this is all over, and now you're gonna have a sort of big one huge release. You know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I feel like I have no. I'm organized. I've organized a lot of stuff,
So you don't
so
think of
I
it as a
know.
negative thing. It was all about the lockdown. Because like even personally, did it help you realize some things personally as well and mentally, or
No, I mean, I've always been a lonely person. I mean, by choice.
like yeah,
Yeah,
to
by
yourself.
choice. So, yeah. So it wasn't a big change for me. Like,
Mm.
no. It was difficult because we can't see the family and everything.
Hmm.
But mm,
And no performing, but
no,
aside
I
from that,
was even more connected to that. I mean, okay, I already know this kind of situation, but now I'm not struggling in it. So I felt like I was in peace. I had, it was,
so it was great.
yeah, I was
Like,
fine. I mean, I was
awesome.
fine. What about you?
No, for me, yeah, it's so when it first started, it was tough because you
Mm,
first think there's all these projects that are canceled, the artists can't
yeah,
perform, our video, we do video production, that's all canceled. So it was really bad at first, but it really shifted my mindset. It
yeah.
really did, and you become really creative with ways to keep it running and start promoting. So the Instagram page has been very important.
Mm,
Um, we found a way to, I just thought, let's promote new artists, let's find new artists as well, just keep promoting them, keep everything busy, and like that, it's great to network. Um, and then let's do the podcast like this because we had one episode recorded in the studio, and
so this is new. I mean, this project that you have and the interview idea is new. Was that
yeah, so
you have
we had other podcasts before. One of them, Three Angry Men, that you can check out, is they also went separately, so independently. So I was a part of that.
mm,
Um, and then there was this project, and this is a new project that I thought, okay, right when we started, the pandemic happened, so let's
ah,
do it like this. And it's cool
mhm.
because I'm gonna keep it like this for a while. And when we
Yeah,
get the opportunity to interview artists here that fly in,
you see, this is
or
a
people,
concept.
yeah,
Mm,
we can do them in the studio. We can do it in different locations, but you know, otherwise we can just talk to people all over the world, such as yourself.
mm,
So yeah, it's
yeah,
great.
that's
And
great.
I had a lot of revelations. I mean, that's what mentally you just have time to think. I thought everything else is on pause.
Uh,
Everybody else has
mm,
isn't going to the office.
yeah,
So everyone is equal now. In terms of
yeah.
work.
That we
So
stand alone, but all together.
exactly, yeah. There we go.
Mhm.
And that's the thing. So and I've really met interesting people. I think
Mm,
everybody realizes that it's not weird to reach out to others on Instagram or social media anymore.
yeah.
Like people are more open to it now. They think, oh, that's not that scary. Because I know a lot of
Mm,
people were hesitant on saying like, how do you do it? Because I'm always reaching out to people, and other people find it strange to reach out to people randomly. But you know,
yeah, to make interviews, or you mean like when you reach out to people, they like, okay, who are you? They.
Yeah,
I don't.
so it's always with an intent of either just linking up for business or for the
Mm,
podcast or for my artists, or working with artists and stuff. But even people in music, I remember a friend of mine, but he's used to this. Like he's a composer, he's a film score composer, brilliant guy.
mm,
Um, and he found someone on SoundCloud and he loved their work and he wanted to work with them, so he just reached out. And the guy he reached out to is Dutch.
mm.
And the guy was like, "Oh, I'm actually so surprised. People don't usually just message random people on SoundCloud or somewhere." And he's like, "Really? Like
Ah.
this is something I've been doing all my life, like But he's like, "Yeah, cool. Okay, let's go have a coffee." So some people do find it strange, though. I think
Mm,
now
yeah.
others don't.
Mm.
Yeah.
Those are quite yeah, positive
Hmm.
stuff. Mm.
Yeah. But anyway, how do you incorporate social media? What do you think of social media actually, and how do you incorporate it in your daily life and for your career?
Yeah, actually, I don't have a. Mm, I use it for the music, So
Hmm.
I think it's interesting, of course, if you do music and you do art, you want to share something some with everybody, But for me, this is the end of it. I mean, this is where it stops. Like, I think sometimes you don't have to mix your personal life or your private life
Yeah.
with your work. And it's because I think this is social media. This is not private media.
Hmm.
So sometimes, I want to, when I go on Instagram, when you see selfies and stuff, I'm not interested
Yeah. Yeah.
to
Yeah. Yeah.
see that. I'm not interested to see what the people eat or what their house. I don't. This is not interesting. This is not helping the world. This
Hmm.
is useless. I don't know what's the point. But anyway, everybody. I think this is a way for them to express themselves too.
Yeah.
For example, you have media. You have a media. I have music. Someone will have dance. And sometimes the people they just
Hmm.
want to speak. So they share
Yeah.
their daily life. So why not? But I'm not interested in that. So when I go on Instagram, it's just to see the updates or news or my favorite artists, new music or something inspiring.
Hmm.
Otherwise, I don't.
But you do seem on brand. Like your Instagram, it's very consistent,
Mm,
and it's like you're consciously making it look a certain way.
yeah, yeah, right.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So you're big on like how important is branding to you outside of the music. So how does
Ah,
your image sort of correlate with your music?
it's interesting what you say because I don't know. Sometimes I don't know how it looks from the outside. So this is very interesting to
Mm.
know, to have feedbacks about it. Um, as I say, because when I want to release a song, for example, or music, I just want to share a world, like a universe around the song. So I will make my Instagram, very um, with the same kind of colors, for example, the same
Mm.
kind of mood, just because I want to say something behind it, or maybe because this is linked to the song that I'm about to release.
Mm.
So yeah, 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 yeah. If I plan to release a song, of course, my Instagram or my social media, they're gonna change. They're gonna create something more.
Mm.
Um, how can I say that?
I mean,
Homogene,
yeah,
homogene,
homogeneous or something. Yeah,
homogeneous. Yeah, yeah,
homogeneous. Yeah.
mm,
Yeah,
yeah.
so it's do you think so there's going to be the next several posts will all be linked to the aesthetic might change relating to the song that
Yes.
you're about to release.
Yeah, this is often
So
like that.
maybe in a
Yes.
few months the color scheme changes and nice. Okay. So it's like seasons.
We, yes, kind of.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. For example, we stand alone. I started to change. I mean, to publish
Mhm.
some kinds of pictures. Then I stopped because of what is going on right now. I was supposed to release We Stand Alone yesterday,
Yes.
actually. But
True.
then I think this is a time where this is very interesting what is happening because the people they share a lot of things, they share a lot of information. So I was not into releasing the song right now.
Yeah.
I was more like I need to let's focus on what is going on, try to understand.
You didn't want to interrupt the information. Are you saying?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but the
Yes.
song is resonates with the situation as well.
Yeah,
It's
that's what I
not,
was gonna ask because it really does.
yeah. So I will publish it, like maybe it's a matter of time, maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow, I don't know. But for example, yesterday I choose the day where we had the blackout,
It's
Tuesday, and
yeah, it would have been an unfortunate day too. You should, yeah, it's good. It's good you didn't release, but
yeah.
it's also a
So
reason. It's good we didn't do this interview we were supposed to do yesterday as
mhm,
well. So I
no,
found a lot of
this is a
people.
very interesting moment. So let's, we need to.
Hmm.
This is
How was it
this
in France? Are there a lot of protests in France?
Yeah, we had one yesterday, but I don't have TV, so I don't follow
Okay.
things. I don't have
Oh,
TV.
I'm getting most of my information from Instagram and Twitter. Which is
We,
interesting.
mm-hmm.
I always go back
But
there because sorry, continue.
no, no, see,
No, I was
say.
saying I'm always going to them. Do you still hear me well, or is my
Yes, yeah,
video
yes.
was breaking up a bit? Okay, I always go back there because I don't like when the media has an agenda or there's always
Mm,
someone they're trying to paint a certain narrative. I want to see the videos of the people that the people are uploading that are there and what they're
oui.
saying and
Yes.
communicating about. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, yeah, yes, but even sometimes even the people, you never sure. But
Hmm.
yes, in France we had yesterday one protest because we had the same kind of situation, unfortunately.
They have riots as well.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, yeah, we
Because
had a lot.
here it's been mostly peaceful. It's peaceful protest.
Where?
Here in Amsterdam, it's been peaceful protests, and so there's riots there. Okay,
Yeah.
in
Did you
France.
see riots in France?
Yeah, is
Like
it?
recently?
Oh, I thought that's what you were saying, that there were also riots.
Ah no, I didn't follow. I need to check. Yes, I'm not
Hmm.
sure. I need to check
Hmm.
what's happened. What happens? Yeah, but
But I've never seen such a. It's great because well, I have never seen an international response this big
mhm,
since an incident like this happened.
yeah,
It does feel
I
like,
think
and you never know, like you always have to wait it out, but that this could actually move us forward a little bit more than any other
yeah.
event did,
Mm,
and people aren't afraid to speak out. And yeah, so the
yeah.
rioting itself. What do you think of the rioting itself?
So you can't be you can't be for violence, and riot is not, it's not what we want, because I think
Hmm.
it's, if there is a positive movement and you do a negative, and you behave, you do a riot, for example, it's not good for the protest.
Hmm.
But what can I say? Like, black people get shot in the streets,
Yeah,
So,
it's inevitable
so
that this would happen at some point.
yeah.
I mean, I was
Uh,
gonna say I wanted to say this because it may be a bit of a controversial thing,
mm,
but I want to say this. I think it had to happen, the riot, because it's just a natural consequence of neglect. If
mm,
you, after so many, it's been handled peacefully a lot of times, just way too many times. At
yeah,
some point, I
yeah,
think something's gonna break, and
yeah.
this is gonna send a message. And if anything, not even for the humanistic aspect, the next time a black person gets killed by a
Hmm.
cop, uh, at least they're gonna think twice, not just from the humanistic aspect, just because they're afraid that this is gonna happen again.
Yes, of the consequences.
Yeah.
This is a very, could you imagine that we talk about it, that we are in 20, like
Yeah.
2020, like I mean, it's,
It's
I don't know what to say, because it's, I don't know the response, the answer to this kind of stuff, like the violence. Is it necessarily? I mean, could we relate this to a war? For example, because
oh
you get shot in the street. You know what I mean? So, and then you're
yeah,
gonna say quietly, "Oh no, please don't." No, you can't
you
do that
can't.
anymore. I think this is something maybe other kind of organization will rise to,
Mm-hmm.
because we used to have uh, people like, Malcolm X and everybody,
Mm-hmm.
Luther King, so many people that we don't have now. There isn't any leader,
Yeah,
against.
yeah,
So there is a
that's
kind of
true.
war, and we don't have anybody. We have a lot of
Mm.
people, you know?
There's like fragmented. There needs to be someone who steps up and sort of collects people's thoughts and represents them, maybe.
Organization, and then you still have the same issues, but no leader, like
Mm.
nothing. So I can't wait to see how that's gonna go.
And you have a lunatic in the office there, so it's not gonna get easy with that.
Yeah, this is very. Oh, yeah. Let's
It's
see how it's gonna go. But for the moment, it's perfect. Like the people to share information and education.
yeah, it's a
Even if
very
we need to do that. It's not normal. Like normally you have a
Mhm.
anyway. But yes,
I think
you
people have
still
just
have to do
realized
it
that
a little bit.
in some way they're not dealing with humans anymore when it comes to the police and the government and such. It's like you cannot handle that peacefully because once you do it peacefully, they think, okay, let them have their word, and then we'll go back and whenever everything is eased up. But now it's like, yep, you have to fight them with force to really prove your point. Yeah,
This is
because
why I think this is a moment that the people need to think
Mhm.
how the best, for the best, to fight this kind of stuff, They
But
need to
look at
think what
this. I
is
mean,
the
like
best.
we're living through 2020. 2020 is a year that nobody's ever gonna forget. First of all, the
Yeah,
pandemic, and then now
mm,
this
mm,
is a significant moment in history. I hope it's gonna
mm.
become a significant moment in history.
Yeah, but it happens all the time. You already had, big riots and specific moments
Mhm.
in the history, and then see, we're still at the same point.
Yeah, yeah,
So there is something deeper.
yeah. It's gonna take a lot more than that.
Yeah, and also, did you see Quincy, the Netflix documentary?
No, no, not yet.
So he talked. It's just very interesting because he was interviewed and he said, so back in the 50s, for example, it was very like you couldn't go on in the streets. It's dangerous. But anyway, everything that we know, okay, because of the repression.
Mm-hmm.
And this is very interesting because he talked about the 50s, which is exactly the same situation of the same current situation.
Mm-hmm.
So
History repeats itself, and
it spoke about something like in the 40s, 50s, and this is exactly the same situation. So this is where you understand there is a deeper point that needs to be fixed.
it's because
And
it's a generational thing too. I think also
we
older generations haven't have failed in sort of conveying the right message, or even the ones that have realized their mistakes aren't teaching their kids what it like. Yeah, you can talk about it and you can tell the stories about it, but you don't know the deep root of the problem, I think,
this
and
is
that's the problem.
this is huge. This is
Hmm. But that's why I hope that everyone who has posted and everyone who's posted solidarity or posted information or anything yesterday will remember it and bring that to their children as well,
mm,
so that for once finally it doesn't repeat itself again. Yeah.
it starts to be, it's so tiring that we are okay. When it's gonna end, it's so
It's
I
crazy to
don't know.
think about.
We hope so. Like yes, we need to work for that, but yeah.
And artists have to keep putting out work about this.
Mm,
Just keep,
yes,
you know.
as well.
Anyway.
Yeah, yesterday when I saw the black square, this is yes, I posted it as well.
Hmm.
But then when I went to Instagram, I saw so many black squares.
Hmm.
And I was like, no, it was weird for me. So then I deleted the black square because I think it's a very good action. But then at the same time, and I wanted to check the news, and I only saw black squares. So it
Hmm.
felt a kind of weird. So I was like, no, I
Yeah,
don't want
that's
to see
why.
a black square. I want to see, I want to see information.
That's
Um,
why yeah, true. There's a lot of people that were hashtagging Black Lives Matter in the black square, and they were saying don't don't do that because it blocks the other information.
oh
Like
yeah,
there's a separate
yeah,
hashtag for
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Mm,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
organization.
And then some people you see them post it, and then 2 hours later they post something else. Like about their life. Just I'm hanging out here on the
Yeah.
beach. Like that's not the point. You don't get the point. Anyway.
Yeah, but I mean, I would keep something positive. Is like they wanted to support, so they did
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
So I think it was a good intention for them to do that, but
Mhm.
it's
Yeah, that's why I think.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's a very deep subject. So
Yeah. Let me end this with a couple of quick fire questions. I have a. Do you have a song that? What song do you that was ever made in history? Do you wish that you wrote?
wow. Oh. Hmm. I wouldn't dare to answer that question. Like I think it's.
There isn't one that pops in mind, even recently.
Ah, yeah. When I love Chronics, like
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know the guy, and he had a lot of songs that. Yeah, maybe I can give this example. I don't have a specific song because it's too difficult to pick one.
Yeah.
It's very difficult. Um,
Or a hip hop song from the 90s. A good old classic.
that I wish I wrote. Hmm. Oh, you got me, man. I can't answer that question.
What about do you have any guilty pleasures that you're listening to or watching? Oh, you
Yeah,
don't
it's
have
a
a
lot of
TV,
like.
true. But you have the internet.
Nah, I don't have TV. Guilty pleasure. In music.
Or in music.
So I listen to a lot of hip hop, but also rap punk songs. The very violent rap punk songs. Like I love it
Uh-huh.
so much. I don't
Okay,
know.
okay.
And my friend always tell me, no, you need to stop. You need to. I mean, not to stop. You need to change and listen more stuff because I have my days. So
Mm-hmm.
uh, now I'm changing my habits. But I used to listen to a lot of rap punk songs and out loud, and then I have I have the ears like I was once again it's because the energy. I don't know what happened, but once I discovered rap punk like thanks to horror. Do you know the band?
Yeah. I'm aware.
The band,
I
and I
wouldn't be
went
able
to
to
see
name you
them.
songs, but yeah, I do
Yeah,
know.
I went to see them on the live show in Paris
That
last
must have been
year.
wild.
You saw them on the live show?
No, but I can imagine they're wild.
This is this was like I don't know. It was a revelation for me. I don't know what happened, but yeah.
That's great. I think you need to be
I
very
did the pogo.
yeah.
You know the pogo?
The
Maybe I
pogo.
don't say it right. And this was one of the most interesting things that I've
I'm
done
looking
that
it
I
up.
had done in so many years. I released so much tension and so many stuff. Like I didn't expect that. I was on the floor. I didn't care. My everything ups
When the
and down.
music
But
just dictated your whole body,
yeah,
basically.
they did something right to me.
That's good.
But
Maybe you
yeah,
can incorporate them in your next work as well
yeah.
and
This is
create that type of beat.
yeah.
Cool.
I'm talking to the guy who is doing this kind of sounds
Really? Oh, you
and
are.
huh?
You are.
Yes, but this is US punk
Hmm.
rap artist, and I don't want to say it now because it's gotta be sure, once
Yeah,
things are
yeah.
not released.
No, you don't. Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely want to because yeah, this got the vibe. Yeah.
Cool.
I'm trying to work on that too, and this is very challenging for me because I'm trying to find a way to have a vocal line
Hmm.
on rap punk instrumentals. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Which is very interesting. I love it. I love it. This is challenging. This is very difficult, but I really love it.
but it's awesome because that's a challenge that once get it, you're really proud to put it out and do everything
Yeah.
you need to promote it. And then other people might follow you because you pioneered something. You're like
But
a
it's quite
pioneer.
interesting. It's
Hmm.
interesting, and yeah,
Yeah, I love it when people mix different cultural music with all kinds of styles, and nowadays it's just there's no limits
Yeah.
because people are more accepting of it.
Mhm.
And it, yeah,
That's right.
awesome. Hey, thanks for coming
Awesome.
on. Um,
Yeah, thank you very much.
anything else you'd wanna promote still, or?
No, so I'm still on We Stand Alone, and so I will see when I post it.
Mhm.
And but at the moment, no, I'm working on an EP, and we see how everything goes. Thank you very much for
Nice.
having me once again.
Yeah, I appreciate
I
you
like
coming
what you're
on.
doing. This is very interesting to have
Thanks.
different kind of guests, like for example the athlete that I forgot the
Mm-hmm.
name. Sorry.
Markel.
This is
Yeah.
very interesting. Yeah, and I hope that you continue to share uh, videos like that. And yes, I was very happy
Thanks.
to be there
Appreciate
with
it.
you.
Appreciate it. Now you're a part of it. And yeah, it was great. We'll post a clip of We Stand Alone if you want. Um, yeah, for promotional purposes and to help you
Mm.
out. And yeah, thanks for being a part of it. Good luck.
Thank you very much.